Hi, I'm Gail Simmons, and today I'm going to teach you how to make scrambled eggs my way. I'm going to start by cracking my eggs, and that's where the first thing comes in. Most people crack their eggs wrong. I swear to you, I get this question all the time, and it seems really obvious, but most people's instinct is to take their egg and crack it on the side of the dish, right? That's what you all do, right? Wrong. My friend and hero in life, Jacques Pepin, taught me that the proper way to crack an egg is to do it on a flat surface, because then the shell doesn't get pushed up into the egg, and no one wants shell in their eggs. So that's where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna crack 4 eggs in here. And because I'm feeling decadent, I don't always do this, but when I have the chance, I like to add just a splash of cream to my eggs. And then of course, I season my eggs always, so I'm gonna whisk these a little bit, and then I'm gonna season them up with salt and pepper. Now, I'm also gonna add a little Parmesan cheese to my eggs, because why not? I'm feeling crazy and it makes them a little bit gooey and oozy and delicious. And the Parmesan also has a lot of salt in it, so you wanna make sure that you think about that when you add the salt at this point in the egg cookery. A little bit of fresh pepper. And while I'm whisking it up, I'm gonna turn on my stove. And it's gonna be at a medium heat to start to melt my butter, but I wanna ultimately cook my eggs pretty slowly. The other thing I think people do wrong with eggs is that they are impatient. So they use really high heat, which burns the eggs, and you just don't have a moment to take the time to cook them properly. Here we are. I have about a tablespoon of butter in my pan. That's actually a little less, but we're gonna be fine, because there's also cream and cheese. I'm using a non-stick pan, as you can see. I don't use a non-stick pan for most things, but for cooking eggs, it's sort of perfect because it'll really help. Eggs are sticky and I don't want them to stick to the pan, I want them on my plate. Rubber spatula, I think, is also the key to cooking eggs. A metal spatula is not gonna do the job. Ooh, that is hot. And then I'm gonna turn the pan down so that it is just simmering. I just want it to be on a low cook because ultimately I don't want to burn my eggs. And I'm gonna run my spatula around the edges and then just start gently moving it around a little bit. So you can see that the eggs are just starting to form that sort of curd-like shape. And at this point, when they're still pretty loose, I'm gonna add a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese and then a sprinkle of fresh chives, finely chopped. And now they come together pretty quickly, so you do not want to take your eyes off them for a minute. But you can see that they're creamy and they're soft. There's nothing I hate more than overcooked rubbery eggs that have been pounded with way too much heat. You want to keep them sort of loose. You don't need to have any brown or any color on your egg for them to be cooked. You will not get sick, especially in this day and age. If you're buying eggs that are fresh and that are from a trusted source, it's very hard to get sick from a raw egg. I mean, I'm not saying you should eat raw eggs all day long, but you don't have to worry about cooking your egg so much to kill every piece of bacteria. You'll just lose the egg's integrity altogether. All right. I like to take my eggs off the heat like 30 seconds before they're totally ready because they're so hot, they will continue to cook. And again, I want them really loose and soft. Slide them onto the plate. Make sure your stove is off. A little bit more cheese and a little more chives. There you go, my scrambled eggs.